So if you've had a bad 2024, you know that you have been repeating the same behavior, habits, and beliefs that have led you to sabotage your own life and your own potential. Now, the good news is 2025 is here, but before we go ahead, I want you to think about this. Ask yourself this one question. If I continue to do things the way that I'm doing right now, what will my life look like in the next 3 months, 6 months, and 1 year? What will my life look like by the end of December 2025 if I don't change my ways? One of my favorite quotes is a quote by Einstein that says that insanity, or the definition of insanity, is doing the same thing again and again and expecting different results. So this video, we're going to talk about changes that you have to make in 2025 to become the best version of yourself. Change number 1, associate with opposites. If you're somebody who's more introverted, seek extroverted people. Seek people who are more outgoing, who are louder, who are not as shy as you probably. If you are somebody who's more gloomy, try to seek out people who are more happy-go-lucky, people who are happier and more enthusiastic on an everyday basis. The entire point being that misery multiplies in company. You might feel very comforted when you seek the company of people who are just like you, but what that does is that validates the things that you're doing wrong and stops your growth, prevents you from growing further. Versus if you associate and spend more time with people who are exactly the opposite of you, you get the opportunity to become the other end of the spectrum. This is not me saying that being introverted or being extroverted is better than the other, or being one way is better than the other. But the entire point being that because we speak about personality development, you know that this is our own space. This is the zone that we speak in, which is we focus on personality development. How can I become a more well-rounded individual? The best way to develop your personality is to seek the opposite, is to heal. Healing is experiencing the opposite. Change number 2, clean your space. Organize the mess that is around you. Your home, your surroundings is an extension of your mind. You might have noticed that on the days when you're feeling messy, or on the days that you're feeling very cluttered in your mind, your space is equally cluttered. And on the days that you have a lot of clarity around certain things, or you're feeling good in general about your life and your thoughts and your decisions, your space is much more organized and cleaner. This is not to say that your surrounding has to match your thinking or your thought process. You can also use the activity of cleaning and organizing your space to counter your bad mood. One of the studies that was done around the impact of your surroundings, of your environment on your mental health, found that your you spend a lot of mental and cognitive energy in order to declutter the mess around you mentally. A lot of the energy that you could be putting into better decision making, a lot of the energy that you could be putting into doing tasks that require your attention, goes into mentally decluttering your space, which is why it's much more beneficial, which is why you'll also find out that you feel more at ease, more peaceful when your space is organized and clean. Now, this is also one of the most effective ways that I personally declutter my mind. Whenever I'm feeling very chaotic, whenever I'm feeling like I need to make some important decisions and I'm feeling very confused and clouded, the first thing that I do is start deep cleaning my home. The first thing that I do is start organizing my space. And the moment that I end up organizing my entire home, I have already found out solutions to my problems in that process of organizing my space. So try this out and let me know how that works out for you in the comments below. Change number 3, have a deep work routine. Now, this is a book by Cal Newport, Deep Work, that I first came across Ali Abdaal's video. I might link it somewhere here. One of the most useful videos I found around deep work is having a deep work ritual. Now, what does deep work mean? A lot of the work that we do these days in a very electronically heavy era, where we're constantly distracted by electronics, by devices, by phones, by emails, by messages, by Instagram, by Facebook, by YouTube, TV, everything. Everything around you is electronic. I'm surrounded by electronics right now, although this is helping me reach out to you, but at the same time, electronically heavy environments tend to distract us a lot. And most of the work that we are doing these days is shallow work. An example of shallow work would be watching Netflix while sending emails, or watching TV while sending a snap to your friend or an Instagram message to your friend. These are all examples of shallow work. The point, or what's wrong with shallow work is it is fine on an everyday basis where you are okay with getting away with distracted work. But if you need to produce something new, if you need to produce valuable new work that is useful for yourself and the world, you need to take time out to spend your energy and your focus and to deep focus on one particular task undistracted. Now, how that looks for me is every morning after I wake up, after I'm done with breakfast, I take 2 hours to just write. All electronics outside the room, and I sit and write. Now, something like the deep work for you could also look something similar to maybe reading some study material, right? And just taking that block of time to only focus on that one task. Now, what this does is if you can sustain this habit for long enough, you will find that you're more creative. You will find that you've produced more and more valuable new work. Carl Jung, the psychologist, when he was trying to debunk some of the concepts that Sigmund Freud had proposed at that point in time, he realized that he needed to stay sharp, intellectually sharp, and produce more and more articles to support his own theories. Now, he realized that his busy city life was not going to help him do this. What he did was he found this place called Bullington around Switzerland and created this stone structure called the Tower, where he replicated one room called the meditation room, which was a result, or which was similar to how we have meditation rooms here in India. He was recently back from India and he was inspired by the meditation room structures in India, and which is what he created in his stone structure called the Tower. Now, he would take long periods of time away from his busy city life to come up with theories, to violently produce a lot of articles that would end up debunking some of the most prominent work that Freud had done. This is how powerful deep work can be. And in an economy, which is information economy, we are in an information economy right now. In an information economy where everybody is so distracted and everybody is so involved in shallow work all the time, it is more useful, valuable, and required for knowledge workers, for people who are involved in a lot of intellectual and cognitive work, to take time away and engage in a deep focus ritual, in a deep work ritual. And the fourth change you need to make is have a social calendar. Now, what do I mean by a social calendar? You could be somebody who's extroverted by nature. You could be somebody who's introverted by nature. That doesn't matter. But having a social calendar, meaning having one activity or one day in the entire span of a week where you gather with your friends, with your family, or with a group of people to either have a game night or have a dinner, or any sort of ritual where you're engaging socially with other people. Now, the entire idea behind having a social calendar is that you might have some hard days throughout the week, but just knowing that you have that day coming up, just having the predictability of that day eases you in the moment. If it's a Wednesday and I had a really bad day at work, just know, maybe I got yelled by my boss, right? But just knowing that on Sunday I'm going to be hanging out with my friends and doing a game night or dinner at home instantly puts me at ease. Just having that sense of security when you're around people puts you at ease. So having a social calendar is also one of the most effective and impactful rituals that you can have as an adult, as a fully functioning adult. See you in the next video.